Oh, goodness gracious. Hope everyone's having a phenomenal evening so far. And of course, today was Feed the Kids in general. Back again for my, excuse me, last game of the evening. I have LRock617. Closing out my little restreaming shift. Check one more thing before we proceed. I would like to give thanks and props to everyone who donated to get this run in. This was a bonus game that was added. I have not played it in quite some time, but I thought I could do a good job to raise some money to feed the kids, and we're going to feed them pizza in this case. So let's go ahead and not going to do anything fancy with this run. I haven't done 1cc attempts this game in a while, but I think I can get it anyway, so we're going to go ahead and just pop a quarter in and pick Donatello at 3, 2, 1, go. Forget this game doesn't have a start button.
Hang on.
See what I can remember from here. You'll see this move a lot. Jump slash kills enemies in one hit. Let those guys get hit by that. I don't really want that to happen, but that's okay. First stage is fairly short. Only downside is there's no pizza to it. That is weird. Wow. Okay. Lots of movement there. Getting some weird input stuff here, but we'll deal with it. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to. This is, I think, maybe my second time ever playing on this stick. I only got the stick a couple months ago, and it's doing some things. This move is very, very important. You got a simultaneous input for it. So for Rocksteady, we're gonna go for a quick kill here, so we can put him in the corner. There we go. Before we continue, I also want to give shout-outs to everybody who donated to our other bonus games this evening coming up soon, including Plague Knight, Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures, and Purple Cape Man. So thank you all so much again. For Stage 2, we get to do some of the cool stuff. First is it's a pizza in the game, in any form, even advertising. It's also where we get to see the most broken thing in the game. Where is this guy going? I have never seen that guy back away that much. That was impressive. That dude clearly had a Christmas tree to attend to. This is not ideal. I know I haven't played in a while, so they're just deciding to act up, I guess. Thankfully, we have some pizza coming up here, so I'm not worried about my health. What is happening right now? There we go. Put this on over here. Nice, hit that interception. Bag this food. Alright, for those who have not seen Josie skip, this is Josie skip. Pull a diagonal direction button, or diagonal direction on the lever, on a fight stick or on a pad. Mash attack rhythmically, phase our way through the wall, find Bebop just kind of hanging there in the air, and then we get to fight him. With a completely okay looking screen. Nothing out of the ordinary at all here. Nice fight. Alright, so the sewer I can already tell is going to behave very horribly because I'm seeing more enemies than I would like to by this point. I got trolled quite a bit in the previous stage. Which means in this game that's going to give you more enemies to have to deal with. So how this game works is... I'm trying to think of how to explain this. This game actually works better as a speedrun than it does just a casual play. And I say that because what Konami wanted to do with this game was they decided that, oh, you know what would be really, really aggravating to players? We're going to increase the number of enemies that spawn in a given section based on how fast they get here. By that I mean you're going to be seeing more enemies the slower you get to an area, so you get punished for safe play. Great, right? Super great thing to have in a game. I didn't realize this until about, I think I figured this out maybe about like 6 months ago. I mean, I've been playing this game at this level for quite some time, but realizing that was just astounding. A lot of people were asking me about learning to run the game. Remember, through the course of getting some feedback on some people who had been doing first-time runs, I realized that, oh yeah, I've experienced this before. You have to actually fight more enemies the longer you take, which is insane to even think about. Oh, this is unfortunate. This pixel's kind of hard to hit. There, can also make sure I hit buttons correctly. So Baxter's fairly simple once you can line this up. Get on the magic pixel at the bottom of the platform, do 8 of these jump slashes, and he goes down. The reason you want the magic pixel is because if you're not on the pixel, then the mousers can catch you. And it's better just to avoid them. These guys come down here. Foot soldiers are acting crazy, like normal. Foot soldier behavior in this game is incredibly random. You'll never get anything consistent out of them. I wanted to take the hit from the barrel because I do more damage if that works. So anyway, even though this is a 1cc attempt, we are going to be taking a mandatory death, which is going to be happening in this room. I kind of wish I had taken it already, but this is still fine. Take that hit, still not dead. Okay, so that's our death. 1 credit is 2 lives, so we're fine. And the reason we take that death is because similar to how you get more enemies from taking too long, you also get more enemies from doing too long. Would have seen about 3 times as many enemies through there if that hadn't happened. So Bebop Rocksteady fight. This fight also gets a lot easier if you've taken a death up to this point. I haven't practiced that in probably 4 or 5 months and still nailed it, so good time for the quick kill. If you haven't taken a death by that point, that quick kill is not possible. It requires way too many hits to put them in hit stun, and it's super gross. Not recommended. Alright, on to the bulk of the game's problems. Past the hardest boss fight in the game. I did not want to take that hit. Where are you going? That dude was trying to walk as fast as I was, and I was not having it. Okay, so for the streets, we're gonna have a fair amount of nonsense to deal with. The roadkill Rodneys are not part of them. Not too worried about those guys. Waltz it past him, let him get run over. Okay. I don't think I've ever been that high, but sure. These guys down. First pizza of the stage. Feels good. Yeah, I don't love that, but okay. Not entirely new, because we did see them in the last stage, but the Sphere Soldiers are actually significant to talk about because they are the hardest enemies in the game. They can do some really terrible things if you let them. They can outrange even Donatello. They have really good anti-air capabilities, so you can't even jump on them with something like a jump kick to get an advantage. Like they can just beat you in every way. You just have to make sure you beat them first. Actually, really glad I landed on that tire. But that tire hit me, that was 7 damage. Alright, so for a really cool manip strat here, we're gonna move up here to the top left, and on top pixel, you're completely safe from machine gun fire from these helicopters. We're just gonna chill here until these guys go away. And here is just gonna be a numbers count of enemies. We're gonna have 4 enemies on screen at a given point. Right now we only have 3, so we're just waiting for the 4th one to happen. It's either gonna be a ground soldier, which I'm hoping for, or another helicopter, which I don't want to see. We're gonna wait this out. For the rest of the stage, it's just gonna be on a time scam. Like, all I'm trying to do is actually scam the clock to make sure it gets to the point. Okay, we got a ground guy. That's excellent. Really happy about that. Hope I didn't despawn that guy. I'm actually gonna leave it alone with that. Okay, so what I do from here is I just use an audio cue to tell me when the stage is gonna end, and then I kill all the enemies. Now, normally what you'd be doing if you were playing this game for fun is you'd probably just be killing enemies left and right. That's not necessary. This game doesn't end until a very specific point. It's an auto-scroller through and through. But knowing when it ends is incredibly important, because I don't want to kill these guys, because that means I have to spawn things like helicopters that drop bombs, or other enemies with forced weapons, you know, like, who needs that? We're just gonna dance around the screen a little bit. Not interact at all. And right at the end of this music cue, when it transitions back to the beginning, that's when we're gonna do this. Oh, it's not good. It's not the worst, but it wasn't what I wanted. The reason that's bad is back attacks are really, really, really bad for damage. Especially if they've already taken 2 hits. You know, it takes 3 normal hits for a knockdown. If you get a back attack as your 3rd hit, it resets their health. Except against back attacks and jump kicks. So that was clearly very bad there. Alright, on to the factory. Also known as the absolute biggest run killer in this game. And that's one reason why. Dynamite's weird. Didn't want that to happen. Move up here. Take that. Don't want that. That guy getting off script there is also not great. So the factory is something. It's probably the shortest stage in the game. If not, it's definitely one of the shortest. It's either this or stage 1. But it's incredibly dangerous because there are a good 5 or 6 given points of this stage where the game could just take the run from you, and that was just Butterfingers, so that's part of it. You gotta survive till the end here. Leave me alone. There is something I'm gonna try and do from a nip. I'm gonna try and get these guys by the wall. This fan guy is the one I'm the most worried about. Once I got past him, I could just move right onto this cutscene. Yeah, there's gonna be 7 drones that pop out of the module. It's possible to get all 7 at once, but I've only done it one time. Getting 5 is more than acceptable. I did not want to get hit there, though. Alright, so 3 health is good. Nothing can do 3 damage to us at this point until the pizza, so we're fine. Very good. Like these Rodneys. Dive kicks are the best thing you have against those enemies. It only takes 2 to take them out, and they figure 8 for you, too, so it's pretty awesome. Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab this as safety. Granitor's pretty terrible. Not necessarily the hardest boss fight in the game, but he is the least consistent, in my opinion. His hitbox is really terrible. Like, actually getting to hit him is a challenge in itself. I think his waist is something like 4 inches around. It's pretty bad. It's unfortunate I had to use both the pizzas until then. I may switch over to a completely safe strat here in a moment because he is really being problematic. So this is what I like to do, is just kind of kite him over to me so I can hit him. And now that he's just getting in all the hits that he wants, I'm just going to switch to vertical kiting. This is not the fast strat, but it is a completely safe strat. Let him chase me. Donatello's vertical hitbox is way better than his, so I can always hit him first. That's unfortunate. That was a fake out. Stop moving and have me move up to him. The game does that sometimes, so it really wants your quarter, in case you weren't aware. I'm also more than willing to wait out these stupid stomps. I'm gonna throw a tantrum like a child, but it's better just to be patient with it. Yo, Nintendo fan, thank you so much for the subscription. Get that person a retro win. That was actually a worse than average factory, but we made it through. There was a lot of nonsense that happened there. Alright, so for the Technodrome, there's actually a fair amount of scripting we can do here. For these first 2 waves, I tend to just take them out as the game allows me. Past these laser cannons, jump over this one. And this is, to me, honestly, the hardest part of the stage. Is just making sure I take care of these enemies specifically. Particularly because of the spear guys. I want nothing to do with them if the game will allow it. Did not want to spawn these things yet. Just do this a little bit. Didn't want that yet either. Okay. So I have a bit of work to do. Had to call some audibles there. Where are you going? Here's a cool little bit of a nip. We're gonna get these spear guys to show up. Go to the top pixel here with these ice rays. Jump. Jump again. Then just move on down. And they're not gonna be able to follow us. Yeah, and shout outs to the hot jams that are this stage. Goodness gracious. That bass line is forever engraved in my brain. The good news is, despite all that tomfoolery, we only took 2 damage, and there's going to be some pizzas up ahead, so we're in good shape to get fed. 3 pizzas even, that's really good. That triple kill was amazing. And of course, we're at the very bottom of the stage, or for the boss rush, so they throw everything at us at this point. They're not here to show mercy. Alright, I'm gonna snag this just because I don't want to die. Very good. Just gonna line up here to take out these spear guys. The other thing really scary about the spear duders, they can, if you try to do a special just slightly too far away from them, then what they can do is they can throw the spear, and that's just a straight punish if it gets a jump attack like that. And you take 3 damage, so not ideal. So for Treg, I actually don't mind the Treg fight quite as much as Granitor, because you can at least consistently hit this guy, whereas Granitor is just like a giant question mark. Did not want that yet, but this is okay. Because he lets us just kind of just do this back and forth. The fun thing about Treg is Treg's actually fast. He'll chase you, whereas Granitor moves like a lumbering tree with arms. Sometimes he does that and just stops, though, and I don't mind that. If he wants to cock his gun, I'll walk him and hit him. Gladly. All right, cool. That'll take us full health into our final wave here. I feel like for a lot of people, Krang is probably the scariest fight in the game, but honestly, with Don and to a lesser extent Mike, this fight is very manageable. Jump kick your way out of the corner, poke him, repeat. Now you have to wait out before you can hit him because after you hit Krang while he walks towards you, he does have a fraction of a second of iframes. So you can't just mash away, you're gonna get hit. And you don't want to get hit by Krang. All of his attacks do at least 3 damage. I think the only one that does 4 is the rocket arm, which is the most rarely seen. But either the kick or the laser doing 3 when you only have 10 health. You don't want that. It's a long fight. It's like, I think, 56 hits to kill Krang. So we're just going to kind of just drag him around like this. That was actually really risky, and I probably shouldn't have gone for it, but it paid off. Yeah, pretty easy fight. It's a fairly easy perfect when you spend enough time, practice time with it, but yeah. Just don't do this all the time. This only does as much damage as a standard hit. Okay, so for Shredder, I've got a manip strat I'm going to try and do. I don't know if this is the real one or the fake one. We're going to find out eventually. Okay, it's the fake. So here's what we're going to do. With the fake one revealed, we can put ourselves in a position where he is no longer going to be a threat to us. Just by backing ourselves up against the corner like this. And then what Shredder's going to do is he's going to chase us, continually try to hit us. I did not want that to happen. That did not want that to happen either. Alright, so I got to do some realignment here. That was an input drop for sure. So anyway, how this works is, as long as Shredder has a helmet, he has access to that laser. It's a mutagen ray, but it's easier just to say laser. So exposing the fake Shredder quickly takes that attack away from him. What we can do with the real one is we can just fight him 1v1 like this as long as we back the other one to the corner. If he still had his helmet on, he could still back himself to the corner like he's doing right now, but he would still have access to that attack, and that's really dangerous to have to fight from the back. Like, do not want ever. Get some damage in here. You'll notice I'm going for the jump slash on the third hit. It's just because it does the most damage. I did not want that to happen. Miscounted my hits there. Rude. Sometimes he ducks on reaction. There's literally nothing you can do about that. It's just the AI being cheating. Did not want. That lofty kick is really, really bad. Just has 40-watt range one time around this game. I'm really tired of these lofty kicks. Like, I'm doing my best to try to make sure that doesn't happen, but I guess I'll stick with the safe stuff from here. So we'll just stay grounded. Sucks I had to realign that, but missed inputs are missed inputs. Through dealing with it, I'm just going to do this. We should be able to keep this safe from here. There we go. Alright, that's a 1cc. And once we see the Technodrome, that's going to be time. I was kind of hoping for a 16 on a D-Rust, but that Shredder fight was kind of whack. I mean, it works, don't get me wrong, but it could have been way, way better. So, yeah, I'll gladly take a sub 17 for a game I haven't run in a number of months. Good stuff. And once again, thank you to everybody who donated for this. It was really fun to get to play this again, even though I haven't touched it in quite some time. Thank you for the GGs, Polly and Vonnie and Hot Show and Lex and Kat and Nate and Ant and Dog Developer and Cyphrin and OJ and Weapon. You know, I talked a lot of smack about this game for a long time, but this game honestly is really fun. It was like, I think, the first game I ever played in an arcade. I don't know. The sentimentality for me with this game is real. Not really much else I could say about that, except we're gonna make sure that this weekend, we at RGL can feed the kids. As before, thank you everyone who donated. We're going to go ahead and get on to our next bonus run of this evening, which is going to be RGL's own AK running Plague Nights. So y'all stick around for that. AK always the entertainment, and you all have a great rest of your night as well. Take care.